I'm still just
Hello, good morning. Two tarts are on a journey. Hi, Liz. How are you today?
good morning and I am well. Hello, everyone.
It's beautiful here on the Gold Coast. Um, Up in far north Queensland, apparently, it is torrential rain and it's already started flooding. So,
Oh,
yeah, so it looks as if there's two big weather events coming together, maybe. There's a cyclone forming not too far out from Cairns and another one up in the north in the Gulf. So I was just hearing that today. I haven't fact checked it, but yeah, it doesn't look too promising. However, the great thing is what does that bring us? You know, what do these great swirling weather events bring us? So, I was thinking, well, I've been through one. I've been through the biggest, we lived through the biggest cyclonic event in Australia. So it was huge, Cyclone Yazzie, and it turned our world upside down. And I just kept thinking, okay, what's this bringing us? It's bringing us, gosh, an opportunity to renew, because it just blows the shoot out of everything, but it
yeah.
also washes everything clean. Um, and it was hard. I mean, we were 8 months without electricity.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really, really a challenge, and all of our beautiful forests and gardens were literally upside down. The trees were upside down. The roots were at the top, and yeah, it was great. And we got flooded as well. So it's certainly in the way that we look at it, because it was heart wrenching for a lot of people, and it was heart wrenching for us too. We lost a beautiful property and home. No, we didn't lose it. We got it back, but it gave us an opportunity to do things a little bit differently. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of chaos moving around, a lot of and that's what I think it might be lovely for us to talk about today. I'm looking at the um, the AI the AI sector and having a look. I mean, it's a massive, massive sector. The AI sector. It is huge, and it is set to come down on us with a lot of a lot of changes. But now I look, and this little startup company in China has bought out, has bounced onto the market with a new AI platform, and it's called, or a model that's called DeepSeek, and it has turned everything upside down. It has thrown everything into a panic. So I was just thinking, I mean, then I have a look and see what's happened over in, I'm just kind of trying to build these scenarios. I had a look at what's happening over in America with these massive fires, the aftermath of that, what's happened with the new government coming in, and the huge changes um, being legislated for. Whether they get approval or not, I don't know, but everything is happening so fast. Um, Technology is changing. I was looking at something yesterday, and within the time I was looking at it, I can't remember even what it was, went so fast. By the time I was even looking at it, a new model of had come in. So within an hour, it's like, shoot, things are happening so fast. So I just thought, I think it would be a really good idea to talk about what we can do as individual beings in the force, in the face of this massive force of rapidity, of fast-paced everything, technology, knowledge, um, um, events, all sorts, just thundering towards us. What can we do as little human beings? And it's funny, as even as I say that, I was looking at, as we know, I have um, started an initiative for emotional and social education programs for mainstream education for children, based and grounded in nature. And it was so funny because the post that I put up today was for children. It's like just a little 2-minute thing that they can do. They can run outside, put their bare feet on the ground. They can find the nearest tree and stand up against the tree and just imagine that, just like the tree, the roots are coming, the out breath turns into roots, like the roots of a tree, and burrow down into the beautiful Mother Earth and keep them stable, calm, and in the face of, just like nature does, in the face of natural events. We have the ability to do all of this, and we have the ability to take responsibility and to be accountable for the way we respond. So I would love, and for the last year, I know we've been talking about being mindful, being present in the moment. And I think now is really the time to gather up these little tools that we've offered people, just very, very simple, and put those into daily practice. And as you know, we talked about last week, is last year, is that being present, getting out there every single day for, doesn't matter how long, 2 minutes, 2 minutes putting our bare feet on the earth is amazing. It just replugs us into the electricity, the natural electricity of the earth, and just reboots us, reboots our electrical system. And then breathe. And that's your expertise. Breathe and be aware of our bodies, and be aware of our thoughts and where they are, and coming into mindful breathing. And whatever comes at us, I think that's another thing. I will let you talk in a second. I'll talk about all of this before I forget. But I think we were talking earlier about, just when we have something that we decide that we're going to do, then we ask ourselves, is this going to be in our highest good? We ask the question, yes, this is for my highest good. It is my intention to take the first step towards whatever I'm going to be doing. So, or whatever I'm seeking. So as soon as we have that is an intention for us. And then knowing, as we go towards that intention, whatever happens on the way, if we get knocked out of the way, um, if we get knocked off our path, we stay steadfastly there, because it's teaching us a lesson on the way. So I think that this is probably, and I'll throw it over to you, I think it's such an important practice now. Mindful practice. Sorry, Liz.
Yeah, there's a few things that come up there. You started with the AI, but I don't know whether you realize when you said, what can we do as little human beings? And the first thing that came into mind is know that we're not little. and to know that. And it was just interesting because
Yes.
we're not
Yeah.
little,
Yeah.
remembering who we truly are. And the other thing, it is a high energy year. We know there's a lot going to take place
Yeah.
this year. We know it's fast moving. And I think not putting your attention outside of yourself and becoming fearful of it, because there is the polarity, the duality of it can be used for this and it can be used for that. But if we just put our attention on, without fearing it, what we could possibly do with it, as opposed to remaining small and perhaps being taken into something where it's not quite as good for us as humanity. And the other thing that came to mind is, for me, is that we've lived, many of us have lived through this before. And that was the thing that came up, even if we don't understand, we've been here before. Obviously, and we know that it can be used in not good ways. So I think bringing it back into ourselves and not externally looking outside of ourselves as we need this or what is this going to do, bringing back into ourselves, as you say, being feet on the ground and still doing the internal work and going, okay, so not relying on it, not changing us and not putting things into us or whatever, but what can it do for us moving forward in a positive way? So not being in fear, but coming from patience and just a greater understanding of self, where we're not going to allow it to affect us like it has previously, or it could.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know whether that was understanding. There was a few
Yeah.
things that came in quite quickly while you were talking, but
Yeah.
basically is, it can be used for good and it is moving fast, but we don't have to be involved in that fastness. We just need to play our game, feet on the ground, and see where it's going to take us and how we can use it.
Yes. Yeah, and I apologize for using the word little because that's a really good example of being mindful of the words that we speak, because I should have said individual, because there are times when we are acting as an individual entity.
But there are also those belief systems we've been programmed that we were talking about, that we are disconnected. We feel small. We've been made to feel small. And that I only picked that up because of the conversation that we had. And I thought, wow, we often say these words without even realizing it, because it's a belief system of where we are. So knowing that we don't have to give that power away, because we're big, like we're limitless, and be able to move from that place.
And that's a really, that knowing that we are limitless, and our minds and perceptions can be limitless. That certainly puts this beautiful world of AI into perspective as well, because it's no more than, no better than we are. Granted, it's a lot faster than most of us, our minds can be, but when we stop and just, as you say, just take the time and go, okay, what am I needing? Am I needing anything from this? What do I need? It's not, it's not looking at it as if it's going to be more than me.
Well, that's right. It can disempower us if we choose it. And I'm saying disempower us by getting caught up and still being, I'm going to say the word enslaved. So digitize your face, give your power away that everything is controlled by another, or have a bit of fun of it. Take your power back. Like, I'm not technically up with all of this, but some friends have said recently, get on and use chat GPT, whatever. Never heard of it. What a blast. Like, get in there and say, hey, chat GPT, I would like a sentence of this or that, and it comes out, I tell it what it wants and it comes out already done, and like, play it. That empowers me as opposed to disempowering. So it's all happening fast, but how are you choosing to use your get involved in it, I guess,
And it's here. It's here, and we wouldn't have collectively created it if we
We weren't ready for
wouldn't
it.
have done it if we weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
matter of just knowing it's here and it's here to stay, and um, it is amazing. It is extraordinary the things it can do. It can move so much faster than we can, but we can use it, and I think that's why they're introducing it in schools. And so my biggest thing is, okay, that's fine. It can do all of those menial, repetitive mental tasks, but what we also know is that the part of the brain that takes care of that for us, then it will atrophy if it's not used. So
Yeah.
how else can we? It's really important, I think, to find balance. And the one thing it can't do at the moment is to be empathetic. So
Well, it never will be able to. That's what we've
it
come back for that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm looking at some of the things they're doing, and it's like, well, they can play the game. Um,
But they're the playing the games, they're words, they're that thing. My
yes,
understanding from Unlistened to is we are
yeah,
the only ones. That's why we chose to come down. We are the only ones that can feel emotion and go
yes,
through that. So if
yeah.
we're going to give our power away and think they make decisions from I don't know what
It's
the
from a
word is, but I'm going to
mathematical,
say from an emotionless
yeah, it's from
place.
a mathematical,
Yeah.
analytical. Um, oh, I forgot what the word is now, but um, yeah, it's just interesting the way the conclusions that it draws.
Yeah, which is a further disconnect to us. So when you
Yeah,
say that,
absolutely.
again, it comes back to what are you prepared to give your power away from? Yeah, you can play the game, but internally come back to self
Yeah, yeah,
and don't give that away. Does this serve me? Am I going to lose a bit more of myself? Am I going to be further disconnected?
yeah,
Or is this a bit of fun while keeping my feet on the ground, while still feeling the
yeah.
emotion, the human? That's where we have to be. And we've been here before. So we
Yes,
don't want it to, we don't want to lose our power and give it to something else greater than us
mm,
that doesn't come from a place of empathy, that doesn't understand. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then
yeah,
what does it do? Self combusts. We're not going to get
yes,
there
yeah.
again.
And I mean, that's why I just feel that the most important thing is to bring balance into our system. And, that's, I think things like problem solving, we need to keep a strong grasp on our ability to problem solve, to think critically, to think diversely. It's just, yeah, just really interesting how this is going to be handled. I'm looking at it from, through an education system. So it's just going to be an interesting observation, seeing, do we keep empowering ourselves to know that who we are?
That's the perfect thing. And the theme for this year is there's so many themes of patience and high energy. But if we can come back to the internal work and
Mm,
remembering who we are, you just said that. Who are we? Who are
yeah,
we? And
yeah,
remembering that, and then
mm,
we can't give that power to go back. We've got to get that connection. We have to know who we are. We have to know how big we are, who we truly are. So we're not going to give that away. We're going to use it to our ability to grow and to come back to self.
yeah. And I think that's really vital. I think that's such a vital teaching for everybody, is to really, really understand the who and what we are.
Yeah.
We're not just these physical bodies. We are an incredible intelligence that's vaster than any computer. And we can lock into that. That's what we have access to. It's phenomenal. So, that's it's I'm excited. I'm really excited about this next level of learning and understanding. And
And a greater connection. I mean, you know, and there's information out there what we're talking about, but you know, can AI, like I'm just thinking, I've never really thought about this. We as human beings that are carrying this soul of ours, but we have our feet on the ground. We can have the connection to self, which means we then reconnect to where we came from. So from an emotional, having the emotional place. So we as beings have it all if we can remember who we are. Like AI, yeah, I'm sure I don't know a lot about it, but it can come from a place of um, I forgot where I was going with that. It can have it all. It can have that as a powerhouse, but it doesn't have the connection we have on an emotional, physical, spiritual level. Like that's
Yes.
we're great. We are amazing beings that we've just forgotten who we truly are, with all this connection and oneness to each other as well as everything. Like
Yeah.
that's empowering. Like this is just, I'm just seeing that there, and I'm just watching this AI ball. Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain that's running all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the connection we have to all things.
It certainly does not. So, yeah, I think that's probably the most important thing that we can do is to just to embody that daily mindful practice. Simple, simple, simple of breathing and remembering and
Yeah,
yeah, and doing a little bit of inner work and doing a little bit of research. No matter how we do that, there's information out there, how, and researching to find out how we learn more about who we are. There's so much information out there, and using our hearts and our intuition
yeah,
to, divine that.
yeah. If it
It's,
doesn't resonate, listen to it. If it doesn't
yeah,
resonate, it's not for you. Move on. Not
yeah,
everything that's said out there is real or right.
yeah. So true. Well, we can finish on that note. I love that. Um, I think it's so important. So important. And we've got a lovely guest coming on next week, Barbie Corfin,
Yes.
who I really look forward to everybody meeting and hearing. She is an extraordinary woman, and it just shows you that age is no barrier to anything. So, have a great day, Liz. Have a great day, everybody. Um, we will see you next week.
Yeah, very excited. And you have a great day and just, yeah, take care, everyone, and get your feet on the ground, breathe, and remember who we are.
Thank you. Bye.